Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tad Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the verse that we were reading and got interrupted was the one that it's talking about the lawmaker in the universe is that Bhagwan, and through fear of him blows the wind, to fear of him rises the sun, to fear of him again fire and moon and the Varsha happens, and lastly the fifth death proceeds to their respective duties. So that was, and we were in the middle of it. And here, like we saw, the reason the teacher is explaining all this because the students had somewhere doubt in their mind, is Bhagwan there or not? Is Brahman there or not? And all these things prove that there is a Brahman. If there is a law, there has to be a lawmaker. And we saw the whole logic behind it. So keeping that in mind, Anilji, you can start reading. I think it was 5 main observations. वहाँ से पढ़ना था ना? Is that right?
Yes. 5 main observations are made here by the Shruti, such as the movement of air, the rising of the sun, the heat of the fire, the light of the moon, and lastly, the very principle of decay and death that sustains the perishable nature of a finite world called death. All of these indicate that the entire phenomenal world is not a haphazard, idle dream of a madman, but it is an intelligent scheme ordered by a dynamic divine power which executes its will very strictly and fully through its established laws of behavior and reaction. This is a Vedic hymn quoted in support of the previous mantra, which declared that he who rediscovers the spiritual center becomes fearless because he thereby becomes the very truth, whose dictatorial sovereignty is the irrevocable sanction behind nature's laws.
So he's basically just saying that all these phenomenal forces are they working properly and all that because there is some power behind it, and it's just in the poetic language they're afraid of it, so they're doing their job correctly. And from the scientific perspective, we know that the universe has a harmony, has a rhythm. There are laws of electricity, of air, of everything is fixed, and you cannot deviate from it. And then even I was saying that if you expand it to the mental and intellectual zone, उधर भी वो law एक तरह से fix ही है. You cannot say that I'm going to have all this dirt in my mind and मेरे को भगवान मिल जाएगा. नहीं मिलेगा. पहले हम लोग को clean करना पड़ेगा. So whichever way you want to look at it, or everywhere it expands. And he's saying that the person who attains that higher state, then I was saying that a different language you can say that you become the lawmaker then, yourself. Why would you fear anything? Because you got that, you can come, and that person who is in that authority is not going to do anything wrong. So whichever way you want to look at it, that's how the explanation is.
This declaration of the rule of the spirit over matter is followed up in this section by a narration of the various joys experienced in the different realms. In this comparative study of joy, the teacher of Taittriya tries to convey to the student a quantitative and a qualitative conception of the infinite joy, which is the very nature of the self.
So here, it is declared by the Vedas and by the Shruti and by Upanishads, by Bhagavad Gita, that if you attain that highest state, you get this bliss. And we have heard about it, but we don't know how to comprehend it. कोई बोलेगा कि मेरे को इतनी खुशी हुई, तो बोला कितनी हुई बताओ, quantity. Nobody can quantify that. But here they have made an attempt to quantify it. That's what they're trying to say. That, that unexplicable thing also they try to explain to you by using certain methods. So that's what they are doing in the next 5-6 verses. They are saying that usko bhi unhone quantify karne ki koshish ki hai. Any question about this? What we are doing? Okay, so no questions, and we'll move forward that how they are going to explain the quantity of this joy. Because not only you become the lawmaker, not only you become fearless, but you get infinite bliss. So now they're explaining the infinite bliss. So here is a verse 2. Sa esha anandasya mimangasa bhavati. Yuva syat sadhuhu yuva adhyayaka ashishto dridishto balishta tasya iyam prithvi sarva vittasya purna syat sa eko manush anandah te ye shatam manusha anandah sa eko manusyah gandharvanam anandah shotriyasya cha akama hatasya. Sa is that. Esha this. Anandasya, concerning the bliss. Concerning that infinite bliss they're talking about. Mimangasa means inquiry. Analysis of that. That's what in our modern language we say. When we do mimamsa of something, means we are doing inquiry analysis of that ananda. Bhavati is yuva. There is a young man. Syat, suppose there is. So it says, suppose there is a young man. Sadhuhu, and he is good. Any ki durachari ho. Good person. युवा यूथफुल हो, अध्यायक हो गया, वेल वर्स इन स्क्रिप्चर्स, सब उसने स्क्रिप्चर्स की बातें पढ़ी हो, एंड देन पढ़ने के बाद आशिष्ट हो, वेल डिसिप्लिन हो, दृढ़िष्ट हो, रेजोल्यूट, मतलब उसमें क्या बोलना चाहिए, ही हैज अ फर्म रिजॉल्व, ये नहीं कि भाई वीक माइंड का हो, स्ट्रांग माइंड, बलिष्ठ, वेरी स्ट्रांग, बॉडी भी अच्छी होनी चाहिए, ये नहीं कि भाई सब कुछ है और बीमार सा पड़ा रहता है, फिर कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा वो, body be अच्छी, very strong. Tasya, to him, iyam this, prithvi, the earth, sarvaha, entire, vittasya, with all his wealth. Suppose that person with all these quality is like the king of this earth. समझो ऐसा समझो, all the wealth is उसके लिए है. Purnaha, laden. Syat, let there be, belongs to me. Suppose, this is a suppose, ऐसा कोई है या नहीं, don't worry about it. Suppose ऐसे हमें imagination में एक युवक है जो स्ट्रांग है, मेंटली स्ट्रांग है, शास्त्र पढ़ा हुआ है, एंड देन उसको सारी दौलत उसके पास है, ऐसा समझो. दैट syat, let there be or belong to sah, that ekah, one manusha ananda, human bliss. Suppose if that person has everything, उसकी जो खुशी होगी, उसमें जो आनंद होगा, उसमें जो bliss होगा, उसको हम एक unit बोलेंगे. That's how they explain. They're calling it a unit. Okay? Sa eka, one. Manushya gandharvanam anandah. The bliss of a human gandharva. So what is gandharva? Gandharva means, artist type of people. People who sing, people who do art, people who paint, some artists, So जो artist का आनंद होता है ना, वो उससे 100 गुना होता है, they say. Okay, so that's what they're trying to say. The bliss of human Gandharva, so one well versed in the Vedas. Sorry, what am I saying? Ananda is the bliss of a human Gandharva. Okay, artist. Shrotriya yasya. So the Shrotriya उसको बोलते हैं जिन्होंने वेदों को सुना और समझ लिया हो, उसको बोलते हैं Shrotriya. One who is well versed in Veda. Cha is an akam hatasya. And after listening to the Vedas and after understanding it, after practicing it, after getting established in it, this person is free from desire. Usne karma phal tyag diya ho. Doesn't have any particular desire, So all that one unit, that one that person has, that युवक, उससे 100 गुना ज़्यादा होगा आर्टिस्ट का bliss. और उतना ही वो श्रोत्रिय को भी मिल जाएगा. Means he's not going to miss out on anything. This person, he doesn't have to do any other stuff, doesn't need to get this physical wealth, doesn't have to be bullish, doesn't have to be all that. Why they are talking about all these this way? Because that's what we understand. We think, if you ask in the world, happiness कहाँ पे है, तो सभी लोग ये बोलेंगे मुझे ये मिल जाए वो मिल जाए वो तो मैं खुश हो जाऊंगा. हम लोग को समझाने के लिए उन्होंने ये वर्ल्डली एग्जाम्पल लिया है, उसको एक यूनिट बताया है. Okay, so I'm going to say in Hindi, maybe it will open up a little bit what they are trying to say. ये मान लो कि एक युवक अपने जीवन के शिखर पर है. वो अच्छा पढ़ा लिखा है, वह कार्य में कुशल है और शरीर से स्वस्थ और शक्तिशाली है. और यह मान लो कि इस पृथ्वी की सारी धन दौलत उसके भोगने के लिए प्राप्त है उसे. तो यह पृथ्वी का उसका भोगना मनुष्य लोक का उसके लिए एक सुख या एक आनंद माना जाएगा. 1 यूनिट. ऐसे मानव आनंद का 100 गुना सुख मानव गंधर्वों के एक सुख या एक आनंद के बराबर है. So it's just saying that when people, they get tuned to what they are doing, the bliss that you get is 100 times more than this person. और ऐसा ही आनंद वेदों को अच्छी तरह जानने वाले और इच्छाओं से प्रभावित न होने वाले और उनसे अनछुआ और विरक्त रहने वाले व्यक्ति का भी है. So they are trying to encourage us that the person who reads the Shastras, follows it up, understands it, establishes it, he's not missing out on anything, and then they are going to build it up from here on. Okay, so this is the main thing. Now some other points, which other Swamis and all bring. So, Nikhilananji was bringing a point that all this is they are explaining because originally there was questions were there by the students. They were talking about, I don't know whether you remember that verse when they said somebody who doesn't know God or somebody who knows God, when they die, do they still merge with God? Because if God is everywhere, then even a Vidwan should merge. That kind of question. And then inside, they had a doubt that whether there is a Brahman or not. All that question is being answered by talking about all this. So this reply to that question, they are doing analysis of the bliss. Because for us also, okay, infinite bliss, what does it mean? I don't know what it means, infinite bliss. What am I looking for? So they are giving some idea. So different grades of Anand is described. So then just he said it in his own words that 1 unit of Anand is a maximum human Anand. That's all you have to say. कि भाई एक को सबसे ज़्यादा खुशी कब मिलेगी जब उसका सब कुछ अच्छा हो रहा होगा. Okay? So happiness is a youth which is sadhu, who is well versed in scriptures, who is hopeful, firm, strong, and who is lord of the whole earth. So and has all the facilities and all that. So such a Anand will experience, such a person will experience certain Anand. 100 times more is Manushya Gandharva, artist. And that is, same Anand is experienced by the Shrotriya and Akamataha. So Akamataha, Shrotriya we already mentioned, that the one who hears the Shastras and then they are established in it. And Akamata is the Sanskrit word जिसने काम को मार दिया हो जैसे, but overpower the desires. These words. And then so what does it mean? That Nikhilananji was explaining that through the vivek, through proper discrimination and understanding, through proper logic, उसने वैराग्य को लिया. We saw that when the Bhagavad Gita had that Arjun said that, I can't control my mind. And he said, no, with Vivek and Vairagya, you can, right? So all this ties up. First, you need Vivek, and with that, Vairagya automatically comes. And the different level of Vairagya will determine how much happy you will be. अगर थोड़ा भी वैराग्य आ जाएगा, थोड़ी खुशी आ जाएगी. We know. The moment we start giving up fruits of action, happiness and peace and all those things start coming. Then fully it will happen. So level of Vairagya increases. And then how they are increasing it, they are going to take you from firstly world, then they will talk about higher lokas. because हायर लोका का आनंद थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, उनको वो वर्ल्डली प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं है. ये बेचारा इंसान को कितना भी कुछ मिल जाए, उसकी अवधि छोटी होती है, एकदम वो 100 साल हो जाएगी, क्या होगा, पर वहाँ पर तो चिरकाल तक, काफ़ी दिनों तक तुमको मिलेगा. फिर देन दे टॉक अबाउट artists from the earth versus artists in the heaven. Obviously, artists in the heaven will have more happiness. And then they will talk about Indra, उसका और भी होगा, वो सबका राजा है वहाँ पे, तो उसका और भी ज़्यादा हैप्पीनेस होगा 100 गुना. फिर बृहस्पति, उससे भी ऊपर, फिर प्रजापति, एंड वी विल सी व्हाट दिस टर्म्स मीन. अल्टीमेटली 100 गुना बढ़ाते जाओ, वो है आनंद ब्रह्मन का. तो आपको थोड़ा आइडिया हो गया कि क्या है ये. एंड देन बेसिकली दे आर सेइंग कि जो श्रोत्रिय और अकामता है, मीन्स द वन हु स्टडीज द शास्त्रास एंड गिवन अप ऑल द डिजायर्स, हिज बाय डूइंग प्रॉपर साधना. ऑब्वियसली इट्स नॉट लाइक खाली शास्त्र पढ़ लिया तो इतनी हैप्पीनेस मिल जाएगी. दे टॉकिंग अबाउट if you do it correctly, if you meditate upon it and you reach that highest state that Falguni ji was talking about, then you will have that unlimited anand, and that is that Brahman ka anand is the same that you can get through understanding shastras and becoming akamataha, without desirelessness. If you reach that state, that's what they are trying to say. Okay. So this is basically what it is, but let's see if there is any other. And then he was just reminding us that they have told us these things in the past, but they're just quantifying it now. That they said that Brahmavid apnoti param, Brahmavid alone attains the param supreme, the one who understands Brahman. And then the other statement in this Upanishad was Brahmavid brahmeva bhavati, means the one who understands or knows the Brahman attains the Brahman. He becomes that. So what he's trying to say over here is that the person who reaches that state, वो खुद ही आनंद बन जाता है. I'm trying to eat sweets because I'm enjoying it sweet so much. What if I become sweet myself? We can't imagine, right? That's what they're trying to say. And then, through all these, they are also telling you that, you have to be Brahmavid to get an anand. Just because you just die doesn't mean that you will merge with God. Because just by physical death, the ignorance doesn't go away. That's what he's trying to say. Because ignorance is in the mind, and the mind goes with you. Unfortunately, mind, intellect, and the vasanas go with us, like a jiva, they call it, in the next life. So until the mind gets cleared, we cannot merge with Brahman. So just physical death is not going to do, So this is what it is. Just trying to explain to us the unit so that we understand the quantity. Any question about that? We have 8 minutes. We can start reading. Yeah, you can continue, Anilji.
The following is the inquiry concerning the bliss. Brahmanand Ras. Suppose there be a youth, good, well versed in the scriptures, well disciplined, resolute, and very strong. To him belongs all this earth full of wealth. This is one unit of human bliss. This unit of bliss of man multiplied 100-fold is the bliss of human Gandharvas, and this is also the bliss of one well versed in the Vedas and who is free from desires. For any measurement, we must have a standard unit with reference to which we can make all our subsequent relative measurements. In order to measure the joys of the various situations, we need a unit of measurement. The Shruti, first of all, defines here the unit very clearly.
I was just thinking that sometimes in the little children, few years old, and we say how happy you are, and they will say I'm this much happy. Don't they do like that? No, so this much. or this much or this much, something like that they're trying to do with us. you know yeah.
She says that the joy of an educated, well-disciplined, mentally resolute, and physically strong young man, when he comes to possess the whole world and its wealth as his own, his joy is the unit of measure of human bliss.
And Swamiji's the next verse, next paragraph is going to explain to us that one of the things is missing out of the different things, that qualification they said, you won't be able to enjoy the bliss. You may have all the wealth, but if your health is not good, what are you gonna? That's why उसको strong बोला है. और कितना भी wealth आ जाए, अगर mind ठीक नहीं है, तो फिर वो नहीं करेगा. He will think that I'm in hell only, right? So all these things, requirements are important even for the worldly things, yeah.
In the definition of this bliss, the scripture is also giving us indirectly the conditions necessary for true material enjoyment. Wealth in itself is no joy unless the rich man is young enough. Mere youthfulness dissipates itself with wealth unless the youth is well educated to live the healthy values of life. Mere knowledge and youthfulness cannot contribute to the enjoyment of wealth unless he is well disciplined and has a sufficiently developed willpower. One who has youthfulness, education, discipline, and power of self-control and self-assertion, who is strong in body, mind, and intellect, he alone is capable of enjoying the wealth. To all others, wealth is an added burden weighing down their shoulders. A donkey carrying golden bricks is in no way better or luckier than one carrying mud bricks. The prarabdha of the pigs cannot be improved if they are housed in the Prime Minister's own drawing room.
He really said.
This is so funny.
I know, it's so funny. I like that both the things are so great, that you can have all the luxury, but if you are not capable of enjoying it, then what's the point? Then you need all those other. And the donkey wala example was great. इस पे तुम सोना रख दो चाहे bricks रख दो, वो कुछ नहीं. मेरे को भी बहुत हंसी आई सुन के, but he's so great, yes.
This being the unit of sensuous worldly joy, which is to an extent within our comprehension, the teacher of the Taittriya Upanishad is trying to indicate the various types of joys in their quantity and quality relative to this unit.
So now we saw why they are doing it, because they are trying to bring it to our comprehension. We understand this worldly bliss. That's why. Okay.
100 times the joy unit represented by this human bliss, he says, is the joy of human Gandharvas. The term Gandharva indicates an artist. The joy of a human artist in the moment of inspiration, when he comes to forget the entire world outside and becomes one with his tune or shape or rhythm or curve, is the godly joy of a musician or a painter or a poet or a sculptor. The bliss is derived by a genius or an artist, not by a trader in art, not by an advertisement painter, nor a film star, or a collection.
Yeah, it's called, I had to look up this word. It's called kalakshepam musician. कोई साउथ में होते हैं वो, कोई डांसर म्यूजिशियन होते हैं जो एक सोलो परफॉर्मेंस करते हैं. Swamiji is from South, so he just mentioned Kiko. They are doing it to earn money. So that they are not doing it because they love the thing, maybe. I don't know. That's the connotation. That, the artists, how they love their stuff, what they do, that's why they get that bliss. But other people, if you are doing for commercial purposes, you won't get it. That's what he's saying. Huh? Yeah, go ahead.
Kalakshepam musician. The bliss of a true self-dedicated devotee at the feet of Venus is explained here quantitatively as 100 times more than the sensuous joy of the young, self-cultured man of true education when he becomes the king of a prosperous, vast country.
So he's just basically trying to say that when you love what you do, and when that joy you get is even more than all the worldly joys. And we know that. The people who love to sing, कोई सुन रहा हो नहीं सुन रहा, bathroom singer, they will be singing all day. And that when they go on the stage also, they will close their eyes and sing literally, because they don't care whether 500 people are sitting or 5,000. They are singing because they love it. Something like that. That joy, artists can understand that joy. Or even in anybody's life, if you do what you love, you are in tune with the whole thing. You forget yourself. Self-forgetfulness, You become literally like one with the universe at that point, they say. There are people who climb these mountains without ropes. Why they are doing it? Because they find some kind of thrill, some kind of joy to stay in the moment, So they're talking about that kind of thing. So that it's very high, their joy.
The joy of this inspired artist, which is equated with 100 joys of the emperor, is said to be, by the Shruti, the joy of one who is a deep student of these scriptures and who has come to realize the goal indicated by Vedanta. Therefore, in his conscious experience of the all-full nature, he has no more desires for the paltry things of the world.
So that's what he's bringing us to, because there was a couple of questions by people, in different shastras and all that. If I do this, will I not enjoy the worldly joys then? He's saying worldly joys are included in it. Don't worry. That's what they're trying to say. You're not going to miss out on anything. You'll get 100 times more. Because sometimes we also get confused. Hey, what kind of joy they're talking about? That means, will I not get the joy of eating my rasgulla or doing what we love to do? And the other thing I was thinking about is that they talked about the person who has got the whole world and he's got all the luxuries and all. Uska joy bhi itna nahi jitna artist ka hota hai. Because if सोचो तो अगर इतना सारा वेल्थ होएगा, ये होएगा, तो उसको चिंता भी होएगी उतनी. मगर जो आर्टिस्ट होता है ना, उसको कोई चिंता नहीं होती है, right? When he's in doing his stuff, he is like relaxed. He doesn't have any burden on his head. He loves what he does. That's why that joy is more. So all these worldly things gives a little more burden, and then it will build up from there. I think हम लोग को encourage करने के लिए किया है कि तुम लोग क्या miss out कर रहे हो. तुम लोग ये छोटे छोटे जॉयज में इतना खुश हो रहे हो, अभी कुछ और भी खजाना बाकी है. जाके शास्त्र पढ़ो, समझो और उसको फॉलो करो, and then you can get that highest bliss. That's what they're trying to take us to.
And actually, Umaji, what gives you the highest bliss takes the least effort.
That's what, again, he's trying to say too. That's why they gave the artist ka example. So, and there are things that people do, and you think that, how can that person be getting joy in that? But they do. Like people who love to cook food. उनको वो अच्छा लगता है ऐसे आटे में हाथ डाल के ये सब करना. और जिनको खाना वाना पसंद नहीं, उनको लगता है कि खाना बनाना पसंद नहीं, उनको लगे how can somebody get a joy? But they are getting it, right? Because that's what they like to do. So in the world also, there are so many different varieties of people who get joy in different things. Any other last comment, wisdom anybody has to share before we close? Thank God my internet worked today. I was like so frustrated last time. I didn't know what to do. But hopefully this upgrade will help. Okay, then we'll meet next time.
Sure.
Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om, everybody. Have a great week.
Hari Om. See you next
time.
Hari Om.